You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone. Orange.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome to another edition of the Liberty Breakfast Show. We come to you live from Liberty Online Television, within our Facebook, YouTube, and also they stream live on our website, where they're powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We will bring the program come to you this morning. My name is Khadija Bangura.
And Mina Mabel Kaba. Good morning. Today is Tuesday, the 9th day of June 2024. And inside this edition of the Breakfast Show today, we can talk about one important topic where plenty people believe say, if any government at the world not able to control this, it got difficult for the development day in that country day. And the topic we look at this morning, na corruption. How the federal like inside the past 6 years, we go talk about them inside this edition of the Breakfast Show.
Remember, I say you say for the watch, we go join the conversation. Send me your message now on +23274200545. Or if they watch me on any of the platform, then drop your comments there so you will be part of the conversation this morning. Well, as maybe I don't tell you that they look at corruption 6 years on under the bill-led administration, waiting at some of the policies and strategies that they don't use for fight corruption. And we will get now the studio Patrick Sandy, Director of Public Education and Outreach, a comment from the Anti-Corruption Commission. Good morning, Mr. Sandy, and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Well, good morning to you, Khadija, and maybe I'm pleased for with you now this morning.
And also we get Christian Conte, a journalist, and Ifunaki, the I-Verify, this large fact check. That's some of the people that this way they be in that. And now also a journalist who they write plenty about corruption and how the Anti-Corruption Commission don't they work for ensure say they combat corruption at Salon. Good morning, Christian, and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, and Una, plenty thank you for getting me on the show.
Alright, that now with two studio guests they will get this morning, or they can look at corruption and how President build governments on the first for combat corruption in the country.
Alright, we will continue with the Breakfast Show, but before we can talk about corruption, let me look at health first. Usai the Vice Chancellor na the College of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, where na Professor Mohamed Samai, don't say the partnership where COMAHS don't get with medical experts them from Harvard. Na help we go there for the ensure say the one the way they do medicine business in the country able for address and self-control the way how disease them can bust in the country. Well, it talk this where them begin one meeting with partner them we come out na Harvard for can work in the medical sector na Salon. Mohamed Kamara gets more on this and he go reports.
College of Medicine and Allied Health Science, COMAHS, now the leading medical school na Salon, which starts operation April 12, 1988 by the government of Salon, with support from the Nigerian government and World Health Organization. This college gets but 4 different faculty them, like Faculty of Basic Medical Science, Faculty of Clinical Science and Dentistry, the Faculty of Nursing and Midwifery, and the Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science. COMAHS they work now for produce doctor, nurses, pharmacists, biomedical scientists, and laboratory technicians. As way for improve well body business na Salon. When because of this make this BNTM, COMAHS join hand with other well body expert them for improve the students them knowledge but how for do research. The Deputy Vice Chancellor for COMAHS, Professor Mohamed Samai, explained about the partnership where the college don't make with some expert them.
What we have engaged in really is massive capacity building in terms of the medical sciences in almost all the fields of medicine, all the sciences in medicine, to ensure that we have the requisite human resource in terms of skills and competencies and numbers and quality across the different fields in medicine. But we cannot do it alone. We don't have all the human resource in country. So we have really invited a lot of our colleagues, not just from the US, from the UK and the sub-region, to assist us in this big capacity drive.
How important this partnership could be for improve the health sector, Professor Mohamed Samai began this for say.
As you know, the world is facing what we call emerging and reemerging diseases. So we have things that have happened before that are likely to come back, and we have things that are coming new. For example, we had Ebola, which ravaged the country, and then COVID also, a pandemic that ravaged the world. So as a college, we believe we should be training scientists and our medical students to be prepared to face these emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases. So they coming on board with their expertise to assist us train the students is very, very important for us, because we don't want a situation where there will be an epidemic or a pandemic and we have to rely on external people to come and assist. We need to homegrown our own.
Where in the talk, the project manager for education and global health, Sabiti Lab, Board Institute for MIT and Harvard, Dr. Eguna Rogers, explained about the support where they don't provide to COMAHS.
A couple of years ago, we started to support graduate students here in the University of Sierra Leone, specifically at COMAHS, in a capacity building and providing academic courses to support the professional development of the students. So we have developed 3 courses that we have provided online from Boston, Massachusetts, and one that has been provided in person here last year. I don't know if you're interested in knowing more details about the courses, but in general it's been very connected to public health and health sciences, research methodology, bioinformatics, mathematical modeling for infectious disease.
Inside in talk, the senior project manager, lead for international implementation and capacity building, Dr. Mayatu Pai, explained about the focus of these projects.
So we're focused mostly on viral hemorrhagic. If you notice that a lot of the outbreaks are from viruses, and so we're trying to set up laboratories that have the capacity to quickly detect these viruses through our Sentinel program and be able to create tools to respond to them in a health time. I think a lot of the issue with outbreaks is that, you know, it might be happening in the community for quite a long time because we don't have the tools already implemented and in sight. It ends up growing into something like the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic. So if you have the scientific workforce, if you have the infrastructure, you can sort of prevent that because you can continuously detect it and respond to it in time and just crush it before it becomes problematic globally.
Dr. Mayatu end up say, then go continue for partner with COMAHS for ensure say them produce professional well-body expert them for improve the health sector na Salone. For Liberty Online TV, Mohamed Kamara, the reports.
Alright, in case you just tuning in, watch the show, they come to you live from Liberty Online Television with a stream na Facebook, YouTube, and also now our website, where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. We they continue the program and they come straight in the studio as we tell una earlier. Today we look at the fight against corruption. 6 years on, waiting the Anti-Corruption Commission don't do for ensure say them combat corruption. If people can remember 2018 when President William Gist take up office, one of the things that will be prioritized is the fight against corruption. And during the president say he wage war on corruption. From then to now, waiting he don't do with the leadership of Francis Ben Kaifala and the Anti-Corruption Commission. And that's what they can examine today. And we'll get a journalist with me in the studio. We will give you independent analysis, and Patrick Sandy, when the director of education and of public education and outreach. We can't tell we wait and we say they don't do, and also they think say then they now will fight against corruption. But they can't say to you, Mr. Sandy, as I don't give people a brief background. We all know how corruption been talent in this country, where we make presidents bill as soon as we win the 2020 elections. One of the things they will say it is prioritized by them, and the fight against corruption, it declare war on corruption, and it will appoint Francis Ben Kaifala for be the head of the Anti-Corruption Commission. 6 years on today. A lot of people still believe, say, we are not able the fight against corruption. But before we can talk about that, take me through some of our achievements them 6 years on.
Thank you very much for this opportunity. And I want to say that it was a very good decision where His Excellency the President take for appoint Commissioner Francis Ben Kaifala Esquire for lead in the fight against corruption. On the achievements, there are so many, but they are just begin lead them block by block. Firstly, when the commissioner come, we see how he bring in reforms. And one of the key reforms now to the act itself, the Anti-Corruption Act of 2008, where we don't get as far back as that time, and then it was like 10 years on. So it can for do so many reforms and amendments, if you like. So we will now get the 2008 Act, which is a parent act, and the amendments will come in 2019. So that in itself also introduced the Special Anti-Corruption Division within the High Court, working with the judiciary. So the reforms, actually, particularly legal reforms, bring in a lot of achievements as we speak today. One key one is that which we talk about, alternative to prosecution. I know they go into the several because they are quite a lot. Alternative to prosecution now actually give ACC or the commissioner the legal basis whereby it go now take the route of non-conviction asset-based recovery, where today we speak about recovery of millions of dollars or thousands or millions as it were now in our new currency. So the recovery process we also mandated by the act with the amendment. Now a very serious achievement we don't get. As we speak today, we don't recover money in the tune of over 50 million new loans, because when you call the billion now, it's no longer in use. So that is quite huge. And then also we don't recover money them where we don't give back to institutions, such as the NRA, such as the SLRSA, collaborating. We also been hearing about the Aberdeen Women's Center. These are monies we recover, but we know they take as recoveries way with the mention. And we don't recover vehicles. We don't recover a house in corner. We and no say the people of this country no say we've been declared bona vancatia because there was nobody for it. It was ownerless. So that is one significant achievement with the commission don't make in the area of recovery. And as I say, brought in by that of the alternative to prosecution. And of course, let's not forget the display of the 4.3 billion now the ACC office. That also is part of the non-conviction based. And then we go further for ban the people then from holding public office. Because of that alternative to prosecution, in the amendment, we now say a public officer will then recover money from you criminally, because you have two sorts of recoveries. You get the civil recovery, you get the criminal recovery. Criminally, now they will ban you for a period of not less than 3 years for hold public office. So you will be set aside. So we do that in the case of the people that will be involved in this most recent recovery where we display the monies. That is one. The other achievement now in the area of the national anti-corruption strategy, because as the commissioner coming, we've been getting the fourth generation of the national anti-corruption strategy, when at 2014 to 2018. And that strategy also lead to what we call the establishment of integrity management committees. And we established those integrity management committees across MDAs in over 90% of the MDAs, in fact 100% in local councils. So when the lifespan of that strategy, when last year, 2019 to 2023 as I speak, now we work on the fifth generation. then do a monitoring. Of course, monitoring will happen every year, and then we had a midterm review. But in totality, when the strategy life comes to an end, when we do the monitoring of the overall implementation of the strategy, we realize that there was over 90% of implementation of the key corruption issues highlighted, whereby institutions that they don't take steps for see how they go institute measures for curb corruption within those institutions. So that was also quite excellent. In fact, the Commission go further for give certificates to some of the compliant institutions, and also those who will be non-compliant, we definitely get for shame them. But we also ask that those who are compliant support those other MDAs for see how they can do it. The other aspect about this administration now, the issue of asset declaration. Asset declaration also be the path of the reforms, and it was very key because asset declaration now a very important accountability tool. So therefore, what will happen? We do reforms whereby we say it be initially laborious, whereby if people do not declare their assets, and you can have a lot of them, for going to court and begin make sure say you use the proceedings of the court for let them declare, or you charge them for not failing to declare. Rather now instituted, firstly, the administrative sanctions within the act. Then also we try for streamline or reduce the category of declarants. But what is more beautiful about it is really the administrative sanctions. And today, as we speak, frankly speaking, we get over 95%, or like close to 98% of declarants. And of course, we don't put out a notice of the final extension, we don't end, and we try now for prune the system, get the data. But I tell you, across the board, including the executive or cabinet ministers, civil servants, everybody don't do the declaration. The parliamentarians, everybody don't do the declaration. I can attest to that. Because when we do the final extension, we send out a default notice, and you will see how people then come in. So now, public officers really don't see it is but important to declare, and we are doing the declaration online. Why we do it online? Because for ease the process, and it also will make it easy for we for do the analysis and identify who that not declare. So that is also a significant achievement. Wow. in this administration for a period of 6 years. Then let me just come to the aspect of investigations before I conclude. You don't find out again how the level of confidence in the ACC don't increase. We did get cases in the tune of over 500 reported to the ACC, but we can get 300 around that for let we really deal with, we fall under our mandate. We can refer the others. We also get a Scorpio squad within the ACC. So as a matter of fact, over this period of time, we don't investigate over 400-500 cases. They don't profile legal opinion because that's the process. On some of them, we don't take them to court. Some of them we've referred to agencies, as they say, for administrative actions or for other actions. And some of them we don't recover money from. Some of them we don't caution, we don't close as well. So that is the trail so far we don't go in the area of investigations. The aspect of prevention safety outside of the national anti-corruption strategy, that is also another very important aspect to the fight against corruption. We don't review several systems. We don't do monitoring of we reviews and what would they do. And of course, we talk about the National Fire Force. We talk about the Cerebral Hospital. We talk about the meeting Magai. We don't do recently. You talk about the SLRSA review they go on day, and the several others where we don't do just that. We will see some of the practice and procedures where they obtain in those MDAs where they provide room for corruption not exist. That does not mean that corruption no go happen going forward, because people can still breach processes and procedures. So, but prevention is just for let you curtail or let you reduce on the opportunities of corruption for take place in a particular MDA.
Mr. Sanders, you don't unpack to review as them some of the things they want to do 6 years on in the fight against corruption. We're going to test you back for no say on the work for the people of Sierra Leone, and then say get well and perceive the Anti-Corruption Commission right now, especially in case they will get for do with public interest, case they will get for do with high profile people. And they use 2 examples. One, they all get for do the former chief immigration officer. Being satisfied with that. And also the August for the clerk in the parliament, Honorable Parantawali, we want to investigate at some point when I saw that they hand that over to the president for administrative actions. Some of them cases, then the people then they look up to the ACCC. Some of them they also for big example because according to the public, the evidence then they now hand.
Well, that is the area of departure, where the public they see the evidence in our hand, and what is the evidence? That is the most important question. And I always say this. There are times once they say this person they under investigation, will they conclude for say the person he don't commit the offense as alleged, and that is not the case. Investigation, the first stage, now for prove or disprove. But again, the public, because of the personality we at times involve, or because they get certain things around the personality they may not know, then just one conclusion, no, ACC wants this not the matter, this not this person involved, and so we don't come to your hearing. Therefore, the person for be charged to court. Meaning, that's alleged. But we at the ACC, we go after the evidence. And after we don't investigate, everything don't come to attention, we get a prosecution team. The prosecution team together with the commissioner will sit down and look at what don't come inside. And based on that, then go advise. But you see, sometimes when these things happen, I can find them very interesting. And what you say is different from what you can prove. So they can sit down, not listen, at the camp. This is very important because very recently also this Kakai case, a lot of people just say, oh, why ACC not a go court? And that is not always where we can go. We get provisions for do as we can do for advice. So what is the evidence where people that always say we did? In the case of the clerk of parliament, the investigation bespeaks a employee wife. And so it was about himself. The wife will not say be the employer. And we spoke to him. He said he not get any knowledge about it.
And not say in wife be the work in parliament.
No, he not participate, not to say he not know. Let us understand this. In terms of how she got recruited.
But he is the administrative head of parliament.
Well, that is the $1 million question.
Head, when unable for proof, say administrative head not aware of who that's the work na the particular institution. Well,
that is what he told us. Now we make it clear and we release say, we self you will stand not for belief. But if you not see, for instance, a document whereby the woman named the clerk sign, or a voucher where clerk sign where you know say woman for due diligence, what else do you do? You can look at and say yes, as an administrative head, it is not possible. It's not possible at all for say you not go be aware.
So, but una convinced say not possible administrative head know the procedures or how employment will happen in the particular institution. The ACC convinced about that.
No, well, it is not about us convinced. We not get any document for show, because to as I say, what you think is something you have to prove in court. Maybe let I tell you, it is not about waiting no more. You will imagine that you as the administrative head, if anything in day for sure say yes, because the person in don't deny in the statement. So how can we go before the court and say no? We believe say this man go aware.
Administrative head no need for sign for say somebody they work na an institution.
No, listen, you don't need for sign, but there must come a document before you where the person in details there, for instance, even employment letter. Then also even the vouchers. You need for cross-check that. But if you don't get any document of that nature, how you will go before the court for establish say, indeed this man be aware? How can his awareness or knowledge of it be proven to the court? This is not in the issue. Why is they agree? Why is the woman say yes, I may work after 1 month, you don't get the employment, is sick? It don't be the cow.
But so, collecting salary.
So definitely salaries are paid. And I make we say you pay back the money and we don't impose another percentage. So 10%, and also recluse them from holding public office for 5 years, not even in 3 years. But let us also understand this. Let us also understand this, the aspect of the referral. So tell people that before say we refer to this or that, it is the president we appoint her. And we believe say it is the president who will take a decision on in terms of administrative action.
So we're not finding anything wanting on corruption.
Oh yes, within the Anti-Corruption Act of 2008, because it say, no, say in West being the work or the employer, sit on the panel, sign the appointment letter. So how you go come now really for say this man you be you just deny. And it cannot be a figment of imagination. And they still say this. When you go to the court, you get to prove your case beyond reasonable doubt. And they tell you and say with the burden in criminal charge is very high.
Somebody they listen to will say the clerk used technicality on that.
No, not technicality.
Yeah, because if the clerk are the administrative head of parliament, they go argue to una say, no say in West Parliament just because una say una don't get no evidence for time down to that.
No.
Una refer back to the person where employer.
Let and go. Your own aspect of not let and go is only because no, you see, let us understand this fight. And we for no say this thing has come in of recent. There have been times in this country where the aspect of the fight against corruption may happen. As they say, evidence no day you go like that. Now you see that, yes, you don't meet the threshold, but we refer for administrative action. And I tell you and say that administrative action, a lot of people they suffer because of those actions. And because we know
by how the president will relieve them.
That is what I am saying. You for instance, if they are taking an action
for administrative action, we don't suffer.
We don't suffer.
Yeah.
The MD now of the Sierra Leone commercial bank.
Somebody go just listen, a victim of circumstance.
No, listen, what is happening currently with the letter we don't write. But we probably not close to these people.
I recommend waiting the president for do to the clerk na parliament. Because as it is, since I don't pull a particular notice to the public, up to now, nothing has been said, no report.
And he is still not working, but the president will take action. He is the president of this country. People would have thought if we not do the referral, in the case not they go back to parliament. That's not it. Listen, let us understand these things. Oh, certainly yes. We're able this fact. We just need a still forget some people their mindset change.
So how about
which is a lot of work for them we do. But let us exhaust this. At the camp.
We've exhausted.
No, we have not, because when maybe they ask if we able this fact, we able this fact. But the point is, when they deal with people's minds and people's minds are tweaked to certain things, it's very difficult. Because if not that the people don't.
If we are able this fact, if we are doing a perception survey right now, ask people what you think about the way how ACC they fight corruption, then go tell us they pick and choose.
No, we not the pick and choose. The difficulty, which I will admit, is people don't understand how we work, and people also don't understand. The evidence or whatever not can be available to them, because now to the point of even Jaya Kakai, when this incident started, everybody believes declare now as a declaration form this aspect of gift. It was so up there, but later it was find out that he declared. Declaration, that is the beauty about it. Some people can for ignore. If you say a witch hunt, it is not a witch hunt. You see also the first state chief of protocol. I still can recall, or we all can recall, when he been going at TB Joshua and displaying house. The public raised. Oh, this whole stuff with the American state chief of staff, now you don't be even one completer. What happened next? When we check the declaration, she has been doing the declaration. But again, it is difficult to get the minds of Sierra Leoneans to this, because they want for let you go for a kill. And if they read the name of this person, if you don't go for a kill, it means you have not done anything. And it is unfortunate. Really unfortunate. This fight.
We will come back to you shortly. Let me just come over to Christian. You don't listen to Mr. Sandy. And according to Rami, the Anti-Corruption Commission able to fight against corruption at Salon as we review 6 years down the line under the BO administration. You're not a journalist and you don't raise concern about issues and we get to do with public interest. Just tell me what you think the ACC able to fight against corruption at Salon so far.
Okay, so it's a very interesting conversation. I will say yes or no to that day. I will just take up from the start of the fight. I must say we recommend the president firstly for appointing a young dynamic person as ACC boss, who did a very fantastic job in probably the first 3 or so years of his tenure as ACC boss. There were lots of convictions. He go after corrupt officials of the former regime, which was a very good thing, and we as media supported him. We watched how they go and the convictions then, and it was obvious, say, some people that be need for account for certain anomalies that were happening in ministries, departments, agencies. But going forward, within the past 2 years or thereabout, the fight against corruption does seem to take a different turn. As you talk about public perception, which is true, a lot of people think, say, the ACC now, they handle corrupt cases with kids' gloves, I'll call it. The ACC don't seem to be a lot softer than the BNB when it come for, prosecute officials of former government. Now, as soon as you get a big name, the ACC don't become so predictable. We know how the outcomes are. Maybe I just go through a few. For example, we talk about the convictions that the law officers department quite recently. A certain Raymond, Frank Williams, and Fatma Tassese, and what was their crime? Giving or soliciting indictment, giving or soliciting an advantage. The amount we talk about in this case is about 1,500,000 only loans, 1.5 million. This is the amount we're talking about. We come to other cases, like I mentioned, but the most recent case, I think, that the former immigration boss. No matter about gifts and all that, people expected, say, okay, you don't breach a certain procedure when that you don't get a register for declare gifts. There should be a register. It's an administrative procedure. Something should happen. We come to the case of the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank MD, and Mr. Sandy they talk say the MD don't suffer in some kind of way. I don't think that is true. The MD has not suffered. The MD is still there as MD, and even as they talk, so there are letters going out to media houses threatening them, why they pick that story day and how they report on the story. These are the things that happen. And in that case specifically, the ACC make it clear, say, procurement processes were flawed. So the MD go to the board, they get a certain amount we want for vehicles, including a own vehicle. A own vehicle alone was about $140,000. Now they procure the vehicle. What the board approved was less than that. So in essence, he spent about $90,000 higher than the board approved. And this is a public institution. You spend $90,000. Somebody for account for that. There should be some explanation. But you can't tell us that or this not meet threshold, or and will not see any case now. You refer for administrative action. No administrative action has been taken. If somebody accept or receive an advantage of 1.5 million loans, and you have an indictment for that person, what about $90,000?
Do you think that this new strategy of preparing for administrative action go work well na Salone?
We don't get any strong instance society. It's not refer for administrative action, and we see some very serious action taken. Apart from the one we mentioned about the lady we work in a state house, we go to TB Joshua and program and all that, and she was relieved. But do we have many examples where they say administrative action? What thing don't happen? How people they don't feel say, okay, I did this, it's wrong. Because if you breach administrative procedure,
and the Ministry of Finance.
If you breach administrative procedure, it might not be a corruption case, but something should happen for that. But if people don't say now in recent times, as long as not a big name, that's what people are looking at too.
Christian, you start for make your submission say where Francis Ben Kaifala take up the ACC in first 1-2 years them do a marvelous job, but now the fight against corruption don't they take a different turn where a lot of people who they watch you now go want for agree with you. Also you think say Francis fall down the radar?
I think the fall started from the case of the 49,000 bags of rice with Alpha Timbo as minister. The fight against corruption was going on quite nice, I must say. Then we come to that case where I think there was some like a big name, a government minister, a ministry, 50,000 bags of rice, and it passed through the ministry. It was a school feeding program. They account for the 1,000, 49,000. They actually give an account of how it was used, but not in the right way. The ACC, I think, the one who court, they had a standoff between jury trial or trial by judge, and I still not clearly get, even as a journalist, so just might may not get clear idea. The public might also not be informed about what happened in that case. It was obvious because the people that with some of the rest, the people will be repackage, they tell us, na so side we get her, na so side we pull her. So the public wanted to know what happened. Nothing seems to have happened in that matter. The minister at that time was transferred to another ministry, and things go on as usual and normal, they used to say, well, we'll not be able to prosecute this case because of certain X, Y, and Z. And this is like a big name. People, 49,000 bags of rice for school feeding just went to the wrong hands. Somebody needed to be held account, but nobody was held account. So that day, people then begin doubt, say, okay, because they're a government minister, if this was a former official, the way AC for the handler might be tougher than this. So people begin doubt from that moment, and right down to now, it's the same perception that is going on.
Aside that rest saga, a lot of money them way don't they go na the wrong and misappropriation, don't they happen na different MDA them. But at the end of the day, when the ACC go investigate, we say they can come out with back and like pay the money. We make a lot of people go say, okay, I dey work na this MDA, let's take what I take, I go do business with the way ACC can they pay them back. Is that a right approach by the ACC?
I don't think. I think I write an article on and they say ACC in recent time they make corruption very lucrative. How is that? So if me no say active certain amount of money, and no say in the final analysis, ACC can meet me say, okay, this money, you don't take this money, I agree, so I don't take this money, I pay back certain amount, I pay some interest in it. It's like taking a loan from a bank. I will take this money, I no sorry for payback, I pay back the money, I pay back some interest. That is encouraging corruption, and most times you might not even know how much the person don't take. So then I waiting car out a limelight. So if it's like 100 million loans, sometimes you see now 60 million, we don't know, but once you don't take extra 40, then I don't profit and then you come back, you can pay the 60, then sometimes add something on top. So I think SC like Ben Kaifala be the talk where it just be appointed. They say you want to make corruption so bad that people that go watch they're scared. But now I don't think some public officials are scared against it. Say this last we go, it might be settlement, I might pay back.
What is not working for the ACC?
So I think
because first of them come, then say, oh, we're not getting better prosecution powers, want for let them give more teeth to the ACC. That happened, but with all of that, the strategies, policies they work with, every now and then we are reading the ACC, they say we want for do A, B, C, and D for strengthening with strategies them. But all of that, up till now, corruption still those side in Salon.
Yeah, so not take my word for it. You can do a vox pop. The people of Sierra Leone would agree with that. The ACC for the law in guard, the standards seem to have been reduced from what we know. What we know ACC for in the past, when the Bureau administration came in, if you're a former government minister, for corruption, where you see today, the accuser of corruption, tomorrow, what's in the happen. Next tomorrow, how conviction the kind, how then, if settlement, they will say, okay, can't police, it's been publicized, and they go dress and down to the barest minimum. We know how it happens. But in recent time, when you see that kind of forcefully happening, in most all of these cases that I don't mention, even in the case of the clerk parliament, people they write over and over, waiting they happen to this, waiting happen to this, say we are investigating. First, they took too long to investigate. And justice delayed is justice denied. People that think, okay, why would I take so long? It creates a lot of suspicion. Not that they know they do their work, but you delaying a certain matter, particularly when it's a high-profile government official, they put people in doubt. Say, okay, what should I do to this case? Then in the final analysis, people don't get what they expect. They're like, it's clear court corruption. There's no way the clerk will say, I don't participate as the head of the administration.
That
is negligence.
But anyway, how you look at Christian, the fight against corruption, some level of sincerity for the Anti-Corruption Commission, the way how did they handle the fight, sincerity there now?
I would say no. There has been some distrust. We all know that in the public and the ACC, and it's because of how things are going. It might not be that they know they do the work. I keep saying that, but maybe how they address issues previously and how they address issues now. See if I don't change.
Political undertone from this way how ACC they handle certain case, then the outcome taking into consideration public expectation. Although the public expectation might not be met always, but any taste of the issue of politics.
I might not know whether there is political undertone, but what I know and other Sierra they know that when it comes to prosecuting members who are not part of the ruling class, the ACC seem to be more agile, more active, more vicious when it comes to that side. But when it comes to somebody in a top official we either hold a government position or they're part of a government institution, the ACC not as effective as the other people then. So that variance there, it's a cause of concern for the public.
Fight is selective.
I wouldn't say the fight is selective. The fight just gets different levels when it comes to different people, seemingly. So like I don't explain, if it's somebody who is perceived to be, for example, the opposition, when it's just scam, corrupt ministers and all that, the fight was very effective. Now it comes to time where it's don't clear all the corruption will be there in the past, don't prosecute, don't settle, don't do all things. Now it's time to look inwards. Look at the Bureau administration and say, okay, this is a government institution, but X, Y, and Z go wrong. We should take action. This seems to be a bit softer. Nowadays they say, well, we're not getting enough evidence from the court and all that. So it's different from what we used to know. So that suspicion between the ACC and the public.
Mr. Sandy, the suspicion between the ACC and the ACC not get, the public not get trust in the ACC, especially cases them or we get for those high-profile politician or people in the ruling class. What's up, Christian?
Yeah, that is it. You know, let me just say some sections of the public. It is not the general public. If we want to qualify.
So if you do a perception survey now.
No, let us do it. But I don't want to let we bank on if. If we do a perception survey and get that result, then I'll go with survey. That's what I'm saying. Perception, an independent perception survey. You know, my brother, Christian, if certain things not clear, like in the issue of the 49 bags of rice, I feel say the public education and the external outreach department in the ACC, we can provide that. You understand? But I will come to that later. But the issue around when it was the former government officials will be enthusiastic and now we're not enthusiastic, I also disagree with them. Especially in the area of cases we investigate or cases we don't take to court or cases we come out and tell the public. We had the issue where we investigate around Ambassador Foley and Sané. The ACC came out clearly in the media release and stated clearly that there is no issue, even in terms of for payback, because when he did as ambassador or high commissioner in Ghana, he also did as party secretary general. There are a lot of issues that we will all know in terms of they receive salary. But we looked at it and said there was no laid down policy. No, it's in the past administration. You didn't say when it's the past administration, it's about going to court or arresting. Now I just decide the example that it is not the case as in the past administration. We think.
You convinced the momentum where Francis Ben Kaifala come with is still there and the fight against corruption?
It's still there. Nothing has changed. In fact, the momentum they increase. The more reason you see in our the perception indexes we will get from TI, we are just going up. We will get 35 in terms of the score from 130 will be within a 108, and every year we see in terms of progression. But of course we see the scores decline. In which I mean decline, like if 115 you then a 108. So but basically no, listen, Khadija, let me address some of these things. Christian say a lot of things. Let please address them. Otherwise you don't want to give me the platform. Let us respond to them. And then that's the opportunity you don't give me before you ask your question. So I just want to say the idea that when it was the past administration, we enthusiastic and that. And the other one was therefore do with Richard Conte. Many people they know we also came out. We've been therefore do with Japan support to Sierra Leone. We investigated and we don't see any culpability. So let me understand that. Then on the aspect of the 49 bags of rice, they talk about that clarity. We had to withdraw the matter from court and review. So after the review, we now realize that challenges would be if we go back to court with the matter, because the witnesses inter alia we didn't get, we are not ready to testify because it was an issue of the decision of cabinet in relation to how that rights would have been utilized. So even when we had that first knock for say enough for be by judge alone or judge and jury, we also had some other hit in terms of if we were to go back to court. In case when you get in a court, now witness get up. So that is it. That, but you know, come back to we for clarity. Then also, in terms of we refer as them now, I feel say that they get the desired effect. When they talk about, for instance, the SLCB, we say the procurement process was flawed. But being flawed does not mean, as I still say, it meets the threshold for go to court.
So salon people are responsible of case?
How you go be buff case? How you go be buff case because you say the minister take out eat am? Not a buff case. Too far I'm concerned, not a buff case. You understand?
So what did
then no, it is about what happened to the rice. They give people there. But not a buff case. It was just about not going by what Parliament has said. Not a buff case. If they take as in above case, not a buff case. Even the issue around the MD of SLCB, as they say, nothing has happened. Oh, you want something to happen by way of saying the MD is no longer the MD. Now make us say, let us wait, we don't refer. As I am saying, certain things in the way are know of, and I cannot make it public.
Very far they make. Una can do a follow-up.
Certainly, yes.
Una for just send the letter and
we do follow up because we want them to get back to us in regard the administrative action we don't take. And we will start also, as I say, with the aspect of even the Ministry of Finance on them monies that we display. You know, saying about 5 people be there, we only get 2 will more be involved. The other 3, we ask them to take administrative action and they were suspended. Not the Ministry of Finance. If we follow, I just don't know the names, but out of the 5, now 2 be really culpable. We had other 3, we will refer for administrative action. So that is it. On the aspect of this recent indictment, where they talk about because it involved 1.5, I want Christian really go into what the matter was. They talk about a testamental will where somebody change, and this is about a will where somebody go don't write about a property and you would rather give to a different person. It's a serious matter. Let us forget about the advantage, but the action of the person also they send a signal that no, this time, next time you don't do it. For let them give you money, you hold on however small is it, and change the content of a will where somebody don't write. For instance, at this branch you then it make a other person better. It should not happen. So let us don't be looking at the case because of the monetary value. It's about the impact with the matter they get. Just as how you will get a nurse in a hospital, you go get 200 leons, then he give you drugs way by right if you don't get them free. So the 200 leons, right, if you don't eat a sumptuous meal, you don't eat them. So the aspect of the fact
small name then they will involve in their cases there. A lot of people they expect just like waiting Christian say, we are so predictable ACC.
No.
Everybody as soon as pull press release, pull people know that they indict. Everybody know
what we want the public for do is now for continue for support the ACC with whatever they have contrary to what they say. I think say Dan they will go a long way.
But how you going to support somebody where you not trust?
No, why should you not trust ACC? Why you not trust ACC? We they do with level best now just because of perception people get.
Already don't sit down and say now ACC they stop, the box stops here, and when I report and findings come out and now they exceed.
No, it is untrue. I will tell you maybe. The ACC, in terms of what they do, in terms of investigative work, in terms of outcomes, people need forget a lot of trust and confidence in we. And if they trust they go out, or if they trust the will, I think say that is quite disappointing because we they do what we they do. And these things what we they do
on a performance
as to what?
They
only feel say going to court is that the only way of fighting corruption? It is not the only way. The other countries they don't depart from that. Because people then in Sierra Leone just feel say no, you get for arrest, you get for convict, and not to we the convict.
Because
we get for go court for prosecute.
The people and believe
you see,
if you don't set bright example, the next man go do and no say na go end.
No, but the issue about setting a bright example is when you have what it takes to go to court. Not to we get for go tell the court say this man do am or you not do am. We present what we have to the court and the court take the decision. So if we not get waiting it take for go court, do we have to go to court? It is the same people who will come back to us and say ACC the lost case. Let us even put, for instance, the matter will involve the former SLME, the executive director. So we went to court and he was acquitted and discharged. A lot of people had issues with that as well.
So all the
so the point is, what do you say in that? You go say the ACC and they don't do the
work, new strategy,
or now the court take a decision.
So all the
courts now. No, that is it.
So are you saying is that all the cases them all don't forward for administrative action, not reach the threshold for gonna court?
Certainly. They will not reach that threshold, we don't go to court.
ACC don't look like balance.
Once they reach that threshold, we go to court. We have lawyers, we go prosecute. And we have cases in court as we speak. We have the matter where we get conviction in academia. We should also mention that. But all of these are things we will say small. Because a bursar of a university, students they go pay money, then you take it out. When time come for exam, they say you not pay it. Where at the end of the day, for make the people they don't get. No, that is not it. Then we have to look at impact, maybe. We got to look at impact. This is about somebody's future. You want go take exam, you will go college. Later you go for a big person, then the person go say,
so that's what I'm saying. The public perception
because the evidence was clear.
In a teacher case, the ACC go able for care go.
The evidence was clear.
But if you reach to government official directly, the ACC now gets evidence for people for go court.
No, that is different. That is different. I still say it is different. I believe say anytime we get what it takes to go court and gain conviction, we'll do. And most of the cases here, in fact, now guilty play people that they turn out for me because we investigations so watertight, we investigations then very straightforward. At the end of the day, we will go court, we will get conviction. So that is what is happening. But you see, it's difficult to work on people's perception around certain things. I tell you, even when we did as a director of public education, we do it every now and then. The point again can be people that get a new mindset about the fight against corruption. Like how now you say, oh no, because it is about looking inwards, so ACC will slow down. When it is about the former, ACC will be more enthusiastic. I disagree with that. There's some people again, they take time for politicizing because now it is about SLPP and the SLPP now they appoint Francis Ben Kaifala, who will not go after his own, so to speak. So when all we get lenses here for look at the fight against corruption, it becomes disturbed. And now we don't focus, reminds them to only prosecution as the only way to fight corruption in Sierra Leone. And that is the problem. So if ACC come with any outcome of an investigation, no, they don't do their work.
Mr. Sandy,
and it is sad.
The
we get a lot more for do. Because even the indexes, you know, we see, as they say, we are progressing. The recent Afrobarometer, we've made significant progress. But we were inside Salon, we have our own reservations. And sometimes we even tie the fight against corruption to the economy. So these are the challenges. Let people come out clearly and look at what is it that the fight against corruption should have. If somebody don't commit this offense, what are the elements? What the ACC don't look at? We don't try as best as possible for making media releases well detailed, so that you don't even get something for can actually thereafter. For the ACC they hide anything. When we make that as well, people are not convinced.
So there comes the point of trust, because if the public owner they work for not get trust in the ACC, anyhow owner pull a well detailed press release, then they get question for it again. Look at this, the public conversation on a SPAC. As soon as we release the press release giving update about the former chief immigration officer, the outcome of the investigation, a lot of people question what you are talking inside that press release.
No, but then if you question it, let us know what about it. The question for say this young man talk Christian, my brother, he said there was no gift register. We ACC took responsibility because in the act. Now we for ensure the form in which this form for the in the MDAs, it was not there, but he had made 2 declarations of these vehicles. He make an asset declaration, then he also make an parliament. If really not something where somebody will get unlawfully, if you don't make the declarations, then it's a bit difficult.
Now parliament
for
make the media take up that case before ACC come inside.
No, but he has already done it in his form. He make now
say he don't inform. Because the way he talk about parliament, the media begin question him.
We don't say they do the declaration.
So why it take so long for pull a particular ending to the investigation where una be already know?
No, this it had an international flavor. Well, no, this man will send the vehicles. We had to contact him. He get for get back to we get for do with the UAE, and we get all of the other documents for know the circumstance around which, because that was the centerpiece of the investigation. Yes, you don't get this man. What is your interaction with him, or what for what purpose you get the gift? So it takes time. Let me tell you, we send email, then later we communicate directly. So that is the long time it took. Not of us say just by asset declaration. No. Because the asset declaration is one bit of it, but the circumstance of receiving the gift. For instance, if there be anybody who will know say they don't apply for passport at that time, or the person what they do in that country na passport business, and there was some fishy deal or stuff around that, then we will know say definitely that is the reason behind the giving of the gift. But there is nothing of that nature. The relationship now, because we know say Kaka and a lawyer who been in Dallas, they interact, and he was doing a lot for that family. Just like when you say you get a client.
Like you said, 2 are gone.
3 if he could you a gun and a Fortuna. These are things when it comes to your mind, you go say, oh no, they are strange. But if somebody says so, this is where the difficulty comes when they talk about the fight against corruption. You might now go say, no, is it possible?
So not possible.
You see? No, but that is what has been said. Maybe. To an ordinary mind, you go say, well, how can this man just sit down and give somebody these things? But then when you go to court, what happens? What thing will happen when you go to court? So I don't want to come bring in your idea or mind around it. But the investigation goes so far states clearly that he declared to the ACC, he declared to Parliament, he don't do the declaration, gift register, because gift register are not, the ACC not provide that form for let and do, which we are now taking conscious steps for do.
Mr. Sanui, the ACC don't tire for loose case then a court. When I take this approach now for a refer for administrative action,
why?
Is it working for you?
Why you say we don't tire? Why we do the recent indictment? Who that they say back now 1,500? Why we do the indictment now Kenema we get for do with ETU? Why would they do? We don't do several other indictments. So what thing are tire?
We don't tire. Okay, Mr. Sanui,
we don't go tire. The only thing is we have the legal responsibility to go to court or not to go to court.
High profile cases them now they use the approach of referring for administrative actions. Is that working for you?
No, what I am saying, we're not tired. Let us establish that. Whether we don't tire for lost high profile cases, we're not tired. The point is, the evidence we don't get, they meet the threshold, and therefore we still have that option way for refer administrative action. So that we don't go and let it just be as it were the above case we talk about or impunity, and we follow it through. So we're not tired at all. Once we say we don't investigate and it meet the threshold, we will go to court, so irrespective of whatever. Where we feel say we will recover money, we recover. Yes.
What if the administrative actions they are can make referral to? Let's use the case of parental rally. Una will become disappointed for sitting here state about because now on suspension they now.
No, let us wait for that outcome. I know the one for agree with you. No, but let us wait and see first, please. I don't want to let we jump the gun. Let we get to the bridge, then we cross it.
We're just making predictions.
So no, another thing say it will be so, because when we the actual administrative action, I please say the person himself, a lot of burden now has been placed on that person for take the decision, and so let us wait.
Inside the administrative actions letter, the more una can send, for example, to His Excellency the President, the number one man at the state, una they recommend. Or I can just write on a letter.
No, listen. We know there is no specificity. When we say administrative action, it will go in regard suspension. It will go in regard moving the person. They are outlined. No, there is nothing specific. The president now employ him for take action
because they serve the suspension. So aside the suspension, I recommend anything for removal.
No, that is what I am saying. That I say we not specific for say no remove them. You get the point? But in my own candid view, that just that expression that they make. But what we can say in terms of administrative action or disciplinary action, there are certain things where you for do to the person for letting know say you do something way wrong. For say what you do not right. It is just because you're not taking care of go court. But they not can say this person here will carry you to court, but for let you know say you do something we not right or we not be correct.
The capacity for take action against Honorable Paran, what will the ACC do?
Well, basically, if we are in that capacity, the man definitely for step aside.
All right, let me bring in Christian. With all of the things where they happen now on ground, we all now journalists we don't report on issues of corruption. 10 years back we don't talk about corruption, especially whenever the audit reports can come on. A lot of revelation then can the ACC, the PAC in a parliament can jump on that report, try for take actions them. With all the intervention then how you can rate corruption presently in Asalo, pull the ACC aside?
I think rate corruption or the fight against corruption is it?
No, the act of itself, how people they involve in corruption. With latest things they don't the cases the way the ACC don't investigate, especially people them with hold public offices them, they can't mind what they don't get now for involved in corruption.
So I think public education has been up there. We don't talk about corruption a lot more than I began like Foster. So now it's becoming a lot more difficult for people involved in corruption than Foster. Taking the ACC aside, because now also they talk about it now, like go WhatsApp, small thing happen. If you buy motor car, they don't snap the motor car, don't send them. They don't say, okay, this person show the hand, how we manage to get this host and all that. So I think there's this awareness. People really remember say, okay, if I get this or I do this, it will go out a lot faster. People will come after me.
So like your perspective, the fight's progressive, or we do one side, or we do go behind?
Well, maybe okay. Even if we go behind, maybe it's stagnated to some level, because we go like we the guy most like go 120. We're like on fire going there. Then now like we press now 60, so like we slow down. So I don't know what to do, but we seem for the a bit more take the fight a bit easier. So okay, we'll just slow down now. Let's avoid a lot of prosecutions, high profile prosecutions and all that. That's my perception. I'm sure a lot of Sierra Leoneans, when I do Vox Pop, not taking the word for it, a lot of Sierra Leoneans think so. We interact with people, we can do Vox Pop, they will do story there. That's what people think. Some people, they don't lost interest. As you call certain case, you say, this person, we know I get for end up. That's the kind of a thing. It might be wrong, but maybe because of how they handle certain things, that's why this perception is building. And they get responsibility for changing that perception, for prove a point, for set standards, set.
How did this on?
They are top profile cases. What AC need for do? First of all, what AC need for do? I think AC needs to set examples. AC needs to set an example. Might just give this short scenario. If I didn't host, like I grew up, my name picking them, like 5 or 6 picking them plus me. What's one thing happen in a house? Now me mad events younger. If I beat, I before say a bit. So that sends a signal. So okay, this I'm not picking this. This is how I handle. If you do something out of line, you know what will happen. So it's the same thing. If a public official is involved, engaged in whether it's corruption, whether a breach of administrative procedure, something should be done for send a message.
But then they send you back to your papa now for take action against you. In this case.
Something for be done for send message to the other hand and say okay, example, let's take the clerk for example. I'm not saying that for charge and to court to, but if we do something, we go raise eyebrows, people will say, and the clerk of parliament this so this person don't be parliamentarian, is SLPP, a government person, now they take action against so you know get any connection, you forget that you say something like that.
You talk about the ACC for set example. Well, I agree with you more on that, because taking into consideration the term for the former president, Dr. Francis Ben Kaifala case, a lot of people will say Francis not get mind touch that case. You not get mind invite the president for take statements from him. But now one of the case then that a lot of people commend them for in as much as some people say yes, some people say get political on that own. But the kind step where it takes say yes, you're not former president, you don't serve. Now we the people of Sierra Leone serve. So then for investigate you. And all of a sudden, the ACC, that trend, they just go down. You think that the determination don't less, or Francis just become distracted lately?
So I think maybe it's a distraction. Because like that case, he actually raised the profile of ACC. We are all for it. You don't mean because you are a former president, you're not for prosecute you or not for ask you questions. You serve people of Sierra Leone. You don't get immunity. If I ask you questions, how you still watch you. So it was a good thing. All man be like that case and all that. But we would expect that enthusiasm to be extended to every other case. You see, and the thing about Sierra Leoneans, Mr. Sandy understand, our expectations are high. So now get a reality, they say our expectations are high, and when you set example on people the way perceived from being with our own people there, you know, it goes a very long way for send a message say we not take this. SC does not condone certain things, because whenever it's a top government official, there's a perception for saying this not going to happen, and so which is very wrong. So when you take an action, you send a signal. They tell them say, okay, no, it's not take this from side people. Even within government self, people then they were involved in some petty corruption will say, if this can happen to this person, me for be careful. So
no, you see, now. I they get this view from Muna for say at the time of the investigations of the former president, a lot of people see profile, but if you be asked that time how some people took it again, then if you say it is political, you know, it's politicized. No, listen, let us say no. I understand what you say, but it is about that time when you do it, because at any point in time we wanted to do it. See how it happened at McKinney with the people then. See what did happen now office. So the point, no, we went ahead. What I'm saying now, until you have a level-headedness, now you get the understanding that it was about accountability. But some people will look at differently, and that is how the fight can go on as even with the speak.
You know what that
you get the point?
Una be so determined, nothing no go stop una go McKinney the full but yet still una go ahead. They invite her at the office, people then come out, yet still una go ahead. It shows determination.
I agree, but it is very few of Sierra Leoneans hold that view, man. That is what I am saying. I don't disagree with everything what you say here, but let me also understand that in as much as we are talking about the fight against corruption relating to the former president, that was the angle at which some people will look at her, not as how you look at. You get the point? Then also, you see, I can say this, whilst people feel say with a slow down, I always challenge people and say, if you self get anything on the contrary, you see ACC, some people, I don't know if they feel say we are so feared that they don't will come and get issues with we and discuss them.
The feeling in this case.
No, seriously.
The feeling is that Mr. Sandy, when I don't exalt the opposition, now ACC has nothing to do, nothing to show. So as soon as I get case no one out, administrative action.
No, I disagree. Now the more reason why I say people then support for continue with we and kind of bring things to the attention of the ACC and say this is it. So ACC, you do otherwise now, then we will know say indeed we are not on fire, and that has not ever happened. And they still make this point. It's just that at this stage of the fight against corruption, people don't begin get them kind of minds, and it's sad. As a young man, they say yes, we need to do a lot in terms of at least talking to people, but we also need to talk about it. The perception we then get, let it be the right perception. What I mean? No, that's what I am saying. So we need to get a lot of.
You give the person reason for like think good about you. But you know, all the time they do something repeatedly, the outcome they be similar, then you expect some, or think otherwise.
No, but it is about what comes before. People will continue to think that way. So I make they say, if for instance a matter they wait straightforward, we ACC for investigator, ACC refer to administrative action, then we will say. But if we not get the evidence and somebody else feels say we forget that evidence,
not because in the mind
no, how to permanent to journalists. ACC is a determinist institution, and we will fight the fight and ensure that anybody. No, that is it. But look at it for instance. I don't want to go into this. Some people don't even understand. Look at tripartite. Some understand, they don't even know. So we have a lot of thinking at times is a problem.
I continue for the program. In case you just tune in, you watch the breakfast show live on Liberty Online Television, and today we assess the fight against corruption 6 years on under Francis Ben Kaifala in leadership. What in do happen? Who's changed the way do happen? And we get Patrick Sandy, when a director of outreach and public education, and also Christian Conte, a journalist, where they report around issues that we get for corruption. They give you independent analysis. You say for the watch this morning, you get question, you want for contribute, you say want for give you view on the fight against corruption 6 years on. Send them in the comment section. Now any of the platform them where they watch this morning, we'll read all the messages then later on inside the program. And don't forget for share the program so that more people go join the conversation this morning.
Alright, we continue with the topic we get for do with the fight against corruption, and like all time on I know say all voices they be heard now Liberty Online Television, and on our own voice can very important na any topic we will deal with today. And as we continue with the topic of corruption, we're going to the streets of Freetown and talk to people let them tell Liberty Online Television what did they think but how the ACC don't affect corruption inside the past 6 years. Let's watch as Mariatu Sheriff been going to some partner Freetown.
As a citizen, for all who fight corruption at this country, we don't forget integrity. You understand? Integrity, where it will show say absolute law for this nation. But besides, if we think about the self-gain, we're not able to fight corruption. And they like today most and they affect most of the leaders that are up there.
So you feel say this present executive under the ACC, then they fight the corruption, how they're supposed to fight them?
They try their best, you understand? Because like, to be realistic, every society, corruption, nothing, all we know go able, so we'll stop thoroughly. You understand? The ACC they try their best, but still, corruption is still the flow.
So what if it's in the right means for the effects and for the able for conquer?
Now we all get for come to one as a citizen. We think, you understand, about the law we'll get for the state and how we progress. You understand? Parastatals then, you understand. Civil servants then, any way you do work. Things say obviously now be counting out the serve. You understand? But if you think about self-gain, what you get for your own profits at the end of the day, you get for most corrupt or embezzle states for. But if you think about the interest of the country, you will become a loyal citizen, then you serve the nation for making the progress. You get for work with integrity. That if you say one day, you get for stand before you go, then you get for judge you for what you do.
Well, the fight against corruption, actually, I really appreciate the government and His Excellency President Madabio and the Commissioner, Mr. Ben Kaifala. He's doing well, he's doing his job, and as he say, he's trying to do much better, with certain institutions, MD's departments on certain investigation through corruption. And we see certain institutions and they will, there's still a pressure for this corruption business. They work well. Yeah, as he say, they try and best, you know what I mean? And if he say, if we get, in kind, you know what I mean, like then 2 or 3, like this country, corruption go minimize. I'm not saying not go down low, but it go minimize, like I don't try for minimize and put things in place. So
the fight against corruption, I believe say the president, the anti-corruption boss, it be the try really it become force, but we can see say there are some amount of lapses with the going right now, because if you look at some areas of government, let me say workplace, you can see say a lot of things in the ground will be say not correct at all.
So what do you feel say them for do for improve on the work with it?
Well, I believe say if we still maintain the standard way it become with, yes. Like for example, if I would check the government areas, and not only government, let me say working place, but other private areas, and we say very much essential for let corruption done unnecessarily or minimized.
Definitely, the fight against corruption they improve because the fight against corruption under this MCC, I think from 2013, it progress. It don't they improve till we reach this point where the bar them be set for make. They say Salone don't pass corruption. I think it don't improve that because of they don't approve MCC money. Now for let them begin disburse no more. So with that, it improve, it progress.
So look at the MCC no more. Other areas them they where the anti-corruption commission don't they fight because if they're able for tackle, waiting for tackle. If you say they do the right thing right now.
Yes. If you know by percentage, they give them 75%. So they try. Not easy, but then they try because no side no they. All around the world, it could be 100%.
Alright, welcome back. It's still Outbreak Fashion and Liberty Online Television. And that's been the views of people in Freetown as they been tell Maria to Sheriff waiting a thing about the fight against corruption. Now Salone inside the past 6 years, we still get with studio guest them. We get Patrick Sandy from the Anti-Corruption Commission, ACC, and also we get a colleague journalist in the studio this morning, Christian, where they help analyze the issues them we get for do with corruption. And they come over to you, Mr. Sandy. What do you think about the public quick perception where we just get out there from some people in Freetown? What do you think was the response?
The perception is mixed, and I don't also say, even before this, that definitely some sections of the public then get in reservations, or if you like, misgivings about what we do. I not go say it is 100%, and we all know corruption. Even we at the ACC, we know say we are not yet out of the woods, as they can say. We not done corruption, pata. We don't make significant progress. I will continue to make. And the aspect of say, okay, because it is still inwards, because that is where we are now. I just still want to continue to talk to the people of this country, for say let them continue for hold fast. That is get the trust we then get in the ACC, who will deliver. It is about waiting then get, in terms of the little bit of thinking, oh, because it is this person, so therefore it will not come out. But it is not really that way ACC they do. They take action on anything. It is about the action we then want let we take. I think that is where the variance or the difference there.
Commissioner Ben Kaifala, we been just come and say you want to make corruption fashionable. 6 years down the line, when I don't make corruption fashionable in Salon.
It is. You dare now take part in corruption. You know, sometimes we don't talk like when there's it is not in all cases. I tell you, it is not. It is not.
You take
for say campaign, and it is also a form of punishment.
We see the money when Francis display na table them. When it's in a money, they will retrieve from people. Which clearly shows say if they get you for corruption, just they call in an ACC, come back with the money we take.
No, they use the twin track approach. They bring the money. In other cases, they charge to court. I don't want to let people that take and say it is just a free for all. And one thing we therefore also realize, these monies will also they come. We are cutting the losses because at the end of the day, when the money come, we put percentage per them. And again, you don't know how this thinking difficult for people that for come with the money. We just take and say it's easy. You can say take money, then you go make business. That is constructive. Corruption. When you take the money, you put up something else. So that is also what we should understand. We don't see people, they barely not people that they help them and they sell property. But the fact of the matter is, the money we don't investigate say, now indeed where you misappropriate, well in that context you don't lose, the government don't, you bring back and you pay the interest and we make sure so you not take part in the money
now one.
So it is one way and it's an acceptable way, even United Nations Convention Against Corruption.
For recover the money
but
now
it's
one.
not the only way we go.
Now one for recover the money, after another recover the money. Waiting next, outside the money they go. On a can care for track the kind of money we want to recover to now.
That is what I am saying. When we get the money, we don't recover the money. We hand it over to His Excellency the President, and then over the period we don't see how it is being done. The first money they will be set aside for the diagnosis center.
That's our
another one the way that we put a seed money.
It's 6 years down the line. How far?
No, I feel say plans and day because you need more resources for kick them off. But the other aspect of the money we will give now be the seed money for the student loan scheme. And we also see how that one is going. We are following up where people that were there in government employment, where they go study, they don't pay, and it is being managed very well. So that is going on. We give the money and we believe say yes, it is being tracked and the right thing happens.
Quickly before we can take messages, Christian, we just don't play vox pop of people in Freetown about what they think on the fight against corruption. It clearly shows a mixed reaction. With all of this, the ACC for be confident say that they make inroads or the people not get trust.
I think for the fact it's mixed. They see on one end, excuse me, you think say that they make progress, but the other end they need for listen to the alternate views and what in the people then say just validate what you want to discuss now. So it's not about what me think or what in the presenters and think, it's about what a lot of other people think. We might not get we hands on a percentage, say 50% believe say the effects don't they wane down or don't they make progress. But then singular views or the way people they think, they see what take into consideration and work towards ensuring that they change that perception no matter how limited. And Mr. Sandi said don't make significant progress. Yes, progress has been made. They're not static they one side, but now because of the progress we don't make over the years, make some of really raise issues there because we don't have more go down, we don't come out. We don't make progress, we want to keep making progress. We want to see that vigor there and that commitment to the fight. And the ones I make what they criticize. But most times when people criticize, they think say, oh, this person no, not like what you they do. And most times, this person, opposition person, that kind of a thing. We're not for the look at things that way. Take constructive criticism, look inward, watch on ourselves, and ask on ourselves, okay, is this true? Is this correct? What can we do to change it?
All right. I agree with Christian. Continue for the week. Quickly, we can look at messages the way people don't send at the program. And the first one we are the take now from Facebook, it from K Hassan. They say, according to Mr. Sandi, the person who gave the gift have violated the U.S. Foreign Corrupt Practices Act.
All right. We look at small messages. Now the Facebook page again. Safi Patricia Kane say fighting corruption should not be selective and everyone, irrespective of their status, should be accountable and face the consequences. I also feel that some officials are hesitant in executing their powers because they want to be treated with leniency when they do the same.
Usprend Kamara on Facebook, they say the biggest challenge the ACC is facing and shying away to address is how to tackle politically exposed person and politically influential persons. Dealing with such requires trust and trustworthiness from both sides and proper ring fencing of development fund. Digital transparency in all financial and procurement services is another way to discourage misuse of development funds.
Corruption Watch organization Sierra Leone say we believe in the leadership of Francis Ben Kaifala and team.
For the Mustafa Toure, na Facebook, they say the corruption fight has hit the turbulence and it's very difficult to move forward now. The people they have to prosecute now are their own party members and they don't want to tarnish the name of the party. The opposition cases are exhausted, so people should not expect much. It's difficult to fight against your own people.
We look at more messages. This other message again from Fode Mustafa Toure on the Facebook. They say if the ACC was serious, they would have investigated to know who the Lebanese person was, his worth, and what he gained from the defense of Mr. Kaikai, how much he paid him, then etc. This is to establish why they could present with such gifts.
Alright, quickly, I take few from YouTube. This one from Lamin Sise, they say, Mr. Sandy, in honest opinion, do you think you guys are progressing or retrogressing in the fight against corruption? This one again from Samuel Mansare na YouTube, they say the ACC don't have for lost case na court, so now na administrative action, they don't balance too. Abu Mansare na YouTube, they say, Mr. Sandy, you'll be watching this interview after 5 years. I wonder what you will be thinking. Alright, plenty messages there. Now the last one I go take it they come up from Robert Content on YouTube where they say, Mr. Sandy, the ACC have a threshold for some individuals like Parantarawali, Office of the First Lady, Kaikai, the Rice Saga. All these cases of corruption don't meet the threshold. How can you explain this?
Right, and the final one I will take from Facebook. IBBS Bank say, my dear ABK case, not a good example to tell me. Outside the case end with all the evidence where ACC say then get. The case end with no judgment.
Samuel Mansare na YouTube, they say Christian is saying the truth. The clerk of parliament is one case the ACC failed the people of Sierra Leone because it's the blue-eyed boy of President Bio. How can his wife works when he's not aware? Another buff case. Alright, more messages, but we'll go left and day for now and we'll come back to the studio for Mr. Sandy. We get most of the messages then. Let us start for respond.
Yes, if not all.
Few, some.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank the one that was in the messages. The fight against corruption is always very active and alive, so I appreciate the public interest always really generate. Of course, a lot of comments come in regard being that the fight is now to do with the party officials or those in government, so we can slow down. I don't think so. The views of people will be that, and as I say, as a commission, we definitely will take those views on board. We not just dismiss them with the wave of the hand. They take them seriously, and then we see what we do going forward. But the only thing again we want to say is that let them also get a realization that ACC is not a professional institution. Even though you get forget doubts or you get for lack trust, as it may be, but we do work because we want to see where we want to go. People should not focus so much on just us going to court. If that happens, then they are getting a little bit difficult or then go strain. But when we feel say we go to court, we go to court. But we do take on board waiting and they say that because of this, we not take action, and that is not the case. But we listen to it. Then the other person they talk about, we are selective, we are not selective, it still points to the same thing. Then that we politically exposed persons should not have to go after them. Whether we are progressing or retrogressing, me not feel say we do retrogress. The public hold that view. But when we talk about the indexes, I still they make this comparison. The TI, even the recent Afrobarometer. And these are not data we get control over. As a country, we they make progress. If you look at which side we been there and which side we did now, we have made progress. But like how also Christians say, the expectations of Sierra Leone are so high that the rapidity, probably we the want for let them if we don't see Sierra Leone or the fight against corruption, is not where they have seen. So therefore they will get their own reservations. But we are making progress and will continue to do as such. Then ACC don't fail the people of Sierra Leone. I don't think so. I don't think so. We have failed because they do the work. I also can tell people them, and they probably throw a challenge. If you get anything on the contrary, bring them to your attention. But again, the fight against corruption is not only about ACC. This is what people forget. We always say it's a collective fight. If you get anything you feel useful to the ACC or useful for the ACC, you can come. Or we don't do anything where if you say you are not happy about, bring it to our attention and we will see how we can address it.
Then for trust the process?
Definitely. It is not about trusting the process. Let them trust the ACC.
Okay.
Trust the ACC, and if you have any misgivings, anything so far you don't understand, we can provide it.
All right.
But if you not get time, you just sit down and begin thinking, say, oh, this is how ACC they behave, so this is the outcome, you can predict what we do. You never will predict what we do.
All right, thank you very much. Quickly, Christian, we wrap up now. What thing will be your word of caution where you did left with Mr. Sandy for let it take home? As a journalist, independent one, we don't dey from afar, you dey watch, you don't dey report, you don't dey write article on different things the way the ACC they do.
Okay, so in closing, I think two things me go advise the ACC. First, I think maybe I need to look at the act and look at something we're going to do with public disclosure. So BO promised that day in the manifesto, the SL manifesto say go declare assets publicly, but 6 years on, and there's no legal grounds for it. So I understand in why hold back. Or maybe if we, like the case of the Andojaya Kaikai, if we don't disclose and public, there's not be anything for doing again because it's already in public domain, we all know. So we're raising suspicion. Then also, apart from prosecution, yes, it's not always for prosecute, but when somebody breach an administrative procedure, somebody go against certain lay down principles in office, something forbidden. May not like say, okay, I can just breach administrative procedure and money, the state lost money. Example in this case, I don't want to repeat the case, may not like I'm being specific, but if money lost, the state lost money, and you just say administrative procedure, maybe they know what thing will happen to you if you carelessly or negligently, breach certain procedures in our office. We might not be criminal, but something will happen. I think those are the two takeaways for the ACC.
All right, many thanks, Christian. Where you come to the program this morning, yourself can give me your independent analysis. And Mr. Sandy, many thanks. Where you always they make yourself available whenever we reach out to the Anti-Corruption Commission for Kanaya, talk about the fight against corruption, give updates to the people there, Usa day now, and waiting on get for do more. We truly appreciate your availability at all time. Many thanks Una join me in the program. And to Una self we don't watch we one for say many thanks. We end the program with 551 plays. We mean saying 551 people that watch we on Facebook. And on YouTube we get over 156 active viewers them. Continue for watch Liberty Online Television, continue for share all we programs them so that more people will join the interactive conversation they already get now. As this is the only digital platform where they give credible information or different things that already happen in the country. Mina Khadija Bangura, they wish you all a lovely day.
Alright, until we meet again, Mabel Kabadi say goodbye.